Welcome back, everyone, to the Daily Dollar. I am your host, Kate McCready, here with...
Art III, everyone.
And this is our 9th episode of the Daily Dollar.
It's pretty cool when you do a daily episode, you get the number increases pretty quick.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
It took me like 3 months, 4 months to get to episode 9. My last podcast.
Yeah, that's what happens when you do it weekly.
Daily dollars.
Monthly.
My joint was not monthly. It was bi-weekly. It was supposed to be weekly. It ended up being like every 2 weeks I was dropping the episode. But that's what I have you for, accountability.
Yeah, I'm here a little anal. Like, let's get this done.
Well, what you got in store for us today?
So today I want to talk about going bigger. And this is obviously about real estate. So,
I like when I don't know the episode because now, like you said that and got me pumped. When I know the episode is like... I don't know.
You kind of think about it a little bit. So, like, when I say that off the top of your head, like, what do you start to think?
More money. No, going bigger to me means operating more fearless or with less fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think about. Because not that I'm afraid or not that I get afraid of like bigger deals, but...
No, we know you're fearless.
Nah, but when you think of a bigger deal, you think of more money. More money to be made also means more money to potentially be lost, right? Mm-hmm. So there's fear that comes with that. There's a hesitation to, venture into a world that you don't know when you're talking about bigger deals or going bigger.
Right.
Like buying a 2-family, we can do that with our eyes closed at this point. Even a 4-family.
That was our first purchase, was a 2-family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even a 6-family, right? But you talk about 100 units or 45 unit apartment building or apartment complex. Now you're talking something that I don't have experience in. So there's that natural fear there too.
So yeah. I guess just to jump in, I wanted to talk about 2 specific deals that made me want to discuss going bigger. We've also, amongst ourselves, decided that this year we wanted to look more into like commercial real estate, get more units. I think our goal this year was more doors, right? So the first deal I want to talk about...
Can I ask you before we get into the deals?
Yeah.
What comes to mind when you hear go bigger?
Well, I personally picked the topic because... I was thinking like bigger units, like
more doors.
Yeah, more doors.
So you think more doors? I think less fear.
Yeah.
Do they go together?
Yeah, they do.
All right.
In a way.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, like if you want more doors, stop being shook. It's actually that simple. I don't think, even for us now, and again, I'm not telling you guys to go out and do unexperienced real estate, but more doors, you say that to me, it doesn't mean to me like more knowledge. I have to learn more. Like I don't think that, or I have to get better at real estate.
Yeah.
It's literally just a matter of how fearless you are and how comfortable you are. And you can buy comfort.
Right.
You can partner with somebody who's been doing this and just dive right in,
Yeah.
So I think more doors is directly correlated to...
More fear?
No, less fear.
Oh, less fear.
More doors,
less
fear, right? The less fear you have, the more opportunity and the more doors you'll come into, in my opinion.
I think when I think bigger, I think literally actually bigger. Like a big building, like a big apartment unit building, like with many, many doors.
Yeah, all right, so tell me what 2 properties made you think of that?
Okay, so the first one would be a 4 property bundle that we were
trying to get earlier this year,
super close to purchasing, but ended up not purchasing.
Maybe I don't want to talk about this. I don't like, it gets
we talked about it, I think, on our last deal, on our last episode 8.
Yeah, we talked about inspection. We used the inspection to get up out of that one.
Yeah, because it had an oil tank on one of the properties. One of the properties had major structural issues, but this is not about inspection.
Yeah, that isn't even really why, right?
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
so that's why I want to bring this up.
It was fear, right? Like we backed out of that. We used the inspection to get out, but we backed out of that because of fear and like maybe a mistake on my end, which we'll talk about in another episode.
Yeah, we won't get into the doom and gloom of it, but
What's the other project?
Well, it's a story, so like let's talk about this one first.
Okay.
The Peaburg property.
Yeah.
I guess it's fine that I say that.
Yeah.
But so this was a 4-property bundled unit or bundled package. Sorry, I can't speak today. And it was all from the same. We were purchasing it all from the same person. Where did you find it?
Oh, on LoopNet.
So
go ahead.
No, go ahead. What made you look on LoopNet though?
Like we said, our goal was more doors. So I just out of like poops and giggles.
I mean,
I don't know. Did you select explicit when you published this?
I don't think I did.
I won't say the S word. I'm trying to stop using profanity anyway. So for poops and giggles, I was on LoopNet looking into commercial real estate just to understand it more. I want a facility for my youth basketball organization. I want, like you said, apartment buildings. So I just wanted to see, like, what if there's like a 6-family up here or something? If the purchase is anything like residential real estate, then this will be a piece of cake. And what I stumbled across was it was listed as commercial real estate, but it was really 4 residential properties.
Right.
Well, one of them was technically commercial because it was 6 units.
Yeah.
But it was 4 residential properties. So, and it happened to be this deal that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I jumped on it because it was like, okay, this is the same as buying 4 properties at the same time, which we're literally doing right now as we speak. We're buying 4 properties at the same time. This is just all from one person, all in one transaction.
Right. So the biggest whole number that we've ever looked at before, and what was that whole number?
Yeah, the whole number was, I think we settled on they were asking 9 point, what were they asking?
They're asking 9.
I think it was like 9.5
or something.
950, yeah, a little less
950.
than a minute. I got it for like 830 or something like that.
Yeah, you got them down like $100,000 or so.
Yeah. Come on.
He's feeling the regrets on it.
Yeah, go ahead, keep going, keep the episode rolling.
No, so before that though, like, so the way that we were posing this deal was, okay, 850 or 830, whatever it was for all 4 of these properties. Before that, what was the most expensive property that we bought?
I think 250.
250?
Yeah, Spear was 250.
So, I mean, I know
and Carteret was 365.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is more than double that amount, right? So don't beat yourself up too bad because somewhere along the way you decided to go huge, or in comparison to what we had already.
What we had thought at the time, it wasn't that huge. I mean, even in hindsight now, like, had me a little shook because it was close to $1 million.
Right.
And all of my deals were singularly significantly less. When you divide this one by 4, it was like, oh, we do this all the time. But I think it had clicked one day, like halfway through this deal, it was like, yo, wait, we spent $1 million this year on houses. Why is it scaring us that this is in a bundle? It's literally the same exact thing. You're just saving time by doing it at once. Yeah, and
off of that deal, I think it was a 2-family, a 6-unit, a 3-family, and a 1-unit.
Yeah, but the 2-family wasn't. It ended up after research with the township, and this was another reason why we kind of killed the deal.
Yeah.
It was 1 family, 2 commercial.
Yeah.
So we struggled getting funding on it. It also was in a flood zone.
Yeah.
So it was just a funky, like, mixed use kind of thing, but.
Yeah. So, I mean, but what gets you to go actually make an offer on that deal? Like, where in your mind were you like, okay, the biggest deal that I've done was 350 or 360, right?
I was sick of, so guys, in full transparency, like, when we flip a house on a good deal, let's say you make $65,000.
Yeah.
And if it goes fast, you make that in 4 months. Now, I'm not scoffing at that amount, but the amount of work that you got to put in, and even if you're using other people's money and you got to pull capital together, the work to find the house, get it at a price point that it's worth it, all of that stuff, like, again, that $65,000 in that 4 months is just like, it's small. It's 2 of us, right? So we got to, like, split it. There's hella taxes, there's carrying costs, there's so many things that we'll talk about on other episodes. So when I started doing the numbers and calculations of our small deals, I actually was sick of small deals. I'm like, yeah, we're 1 deal away from the rest of our lives changing it. And I thought that deal was the one.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things, at least for me, once we started to like really jump into it and we were in attorney review, it was just like anything else, right? Like it was just like any other deal. And it's one of those things where it's like, you just got to do it to do it, right? Like you got to get in it to actually feel comfortable being in it. I wish we stumbled
across a deal like that now. I mean, that was right before the market got crazy. Now you can never find a portfolio deal like that, especially on the market. But surprisingly, that was earlier this year. What did you say, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Bro, I know now 2 times as much as I did then, which is crazy to say. But if you guys are listening to this and you ever are fortunate enough to jump into the real estate game, you'll see how fast experience teaches you. I'm a way different investor than at that time. So I remember I was even procrastinating with pushing the deal forward. I was kind of dragging it along because I didn't even know how to properly posture it and position it to our partners, our investors, because it wasn't something we were used to. So I'm going to all of our investors and potential partners with an unfamiliar deal. So I wasn't even going into it with the confidence that I was the other deal.
Right.
So right then, boom, first mistake. Because now, like, it's like, okay, like, it was a good deal, don't get me wrong, but I couldn't even properly articulate how good of a deal it was because I was operating with fear and operating way too, honestly, conservatively, right? Like, I wasn't thinking going bigger. I was, like, thinking I was fortunate enough just to win the offer.
Right.
You know, like, I got the offer, I won the bid, there was a couple people looking into it, I got the deal, and, like, I was just hype off that, and it was like if I got a chance to play in the NBA and I got checked into the game and I'm guarding LeBron James, or actually, no, this deal wasn't a LeBron James deal, but, you know, whatever, I'm in the NBA and I'm just happy to be in, and I'm just running up and down the court, I'm not getting no points or nothing, and then after that, they're like, okay, thanks for playing in the game, we're not going to renew your contract, because I didn't go in and kick up.
Yeah.
I didn't go crazy, and, like, the minute we won the deal, I should have really, like, strapped up and went crazy, galvanized investors, evaluated the deal on a deep level, and I just was kind of dragging my feet, relying on other people. Just a couple mistakes that I did. We broke protocol a little bit. I think I ordered the appraisal before the inspection, or I was going to do it without an inspection. It just was. I let the go bigger and the bigger deal, like, scare me into making mistakes. Like I folded under pressure. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest thing for me now moving forward is just, like you said, looking at it like any other deal. And I can act regretful about that deal is all I want, but at the end of the day, like, I had that under my belt. So if I ever come across it again, it's going to be way smoother, way more familiar, way more confident, just because I stumbled across that deal. I got into the game, you know, so I'm not really regretful.
I remember a conversation that we had after that deal. I said, and I won't say the amount of money that we lost in due diligence, but I said, the amount that we learned, does that equal or surpass the amount that we spent during due diligence and essentially lost during this deal?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't mind saying we lost 14,000 between, we got our deposit back, but I think, you know, appraisals, you had 4 appraisals, 4 inspections.
Yeah.
All different type of stuff that needed to be done with those properties, and we lost it in the due diligence period. Because attorney fees, things like that, title fees. We pulled title on 4 properties, so we lost quite a bit of money. Let's even round up and say 15,000.
Yeah.
We talked about this on the mentorship episode. That's the best mentorship.
Yeah.
I would pay that 15,000 for that level of experience, and the confidence that I have now. It's 100% worth that 15,000 of stumbling through that deal. And it's so annoying because that deal wasn't even a complicated or difficult deal.
Yeah.
I can't even say I wasn't experienced, because it wasn't experienced. It was the fear.
Yeah.
So it was worth the 15,000 just to eliminate that fear of, like, okay, we're doing bigger deals, we're doing more real estate.
Okay.
It's way worth it. So answer your question.
I'll say we're coming up on time. You want to do a part two on how to actually overcome that fear, because we didn't get to the second deal, and that's a little something that I wanted to talk about.
What's the second deal? The one we have now?
Yeah, the one that we just got the offer accepted on.
Yeah, so we'll talk about overcoming fear on part 2.
Right after this, still do an outro.
No outro. Go listen to part 2 if you want an outro. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, the outro, babe.
Thanks for coming.
No, guys, thanks for tuning in to episode 9 of, what's the name of this podcast?
The Daily Dollar.
The Daily Dollar. I'm almost in the third here with.
I'm Kate McCready.
And don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We got YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts. We're really excited about this podcast, and I'm pumped for episode 10, our 10th episode. We should have confetti.
Okay, confetti. It's kind of fireworksy, but that's okay.
Anyway, guys, that's the Daily Dollar, episode 9. Catch you guys on part 2, Overcoming Fear and Going Bigger, on episode 10 of the Daily Dollar.
See ya.
Peace.